Hi everyone, this is Arvind here from MindMajix, and today I welcome you all to this amazing session on Salesforce Lightning Interview Questions. Okay, so we received a lot of queries around this topic, like the audience requested us to prepare content related to Salesforce Lightning. Okay, so then we decided to come up with this topic, which is the topic for the day, that is Salesforce Lightning Interview Questions. Okay, so in this video, we have divided the questions into two categories. Okay, so the first few questions will be for the freshers, okay, those who have minimum experience with Salesforce Lightning. And then there are a few set of questions which are meant for the experienced people. Okay, so let's say, for example, those people who have at least 2 to 3 years of experience with Salesforce. Okay, so that is the agenda for this session. Okay, so let's begin with our first category of questions, which is meant for freshers. Okay, and the first question in this session is, as you can see on the screen, the basic and the most obvious question: what do you mean by Salesforce Lightning? Okay, so Salesforce Lightning is a group of technologies and tools that are behind an important upgrade to the Salesforce platform. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, these are the components which are present in Salesforce Lightning. Okay, so as you can see here, Lightning Component Framework, Experience, Lightning Exchange, Lightning Design System, and Visual Building Tools. Okay, so let's talk about them one by one. So the first component is Lightning Component Framework. So this is nothing but a JavaScript framework and a collection of general components that allows us to develop the recyclable components for personalizing the Salesforce One mobile app and the Lightning experience. The second component is the experience. So it relates to a set of advanced user interfaces that we optimized for speed. The next component is the Lightning Exchange. So it relates to a part of App Exchange where we can find more than 70 partner components to start the development. The next component over here is Lightning Design System. So it relates to the best practices and style guides of advanced enterprise UX to build pixel-perfect applications. And the last component over here is Visual Building Tools. So it relates to drag and drop technologies for easy and quick customization and app building. Okay, so this was a quick overview of what exactly is Salesforce Lightning. So let's move ahead with the next question. So the next question is, how do we develop Lightning components? So for developing Lightning components, we can use two programming models. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, these are the two models that we can use. The first one is the native Aura components model, and the second one is the Lightning Web Components model. Okay, so let's move ahead with the next question. The next question is, what is Aura and what is the use of Aura namespace? Okay, so Aura is a freeware technology that powers the Lightning components. And if you talk about Aura namespace, so it comprises of all the main building blocks to define the applications and the components. The next question is, explain Lightning Experience. So Lightning Experience is the name for the latest Salesforce desktop application with the latest features developed with an advanced UI and speed optimization. The next question is, explain the different types of events of Salesforce Lightning components. So following are the different types of events of Salesforce Lightning components. As you can see on the screen, the first one is the system events. The second one is the application events. And the third one is the component event. So let's discuss them one by one. So if you talk about system events, so during the Lightning app's lifecycle, so Salesforce fires the system events. The next type of event is the application event. So the application event extent is across the Lightning application, and any element that has enrolled for this event will get an alert. Okay, and the third type of event is the component event. So the component event scope is within itself or within the parent component of this event, and all the parent components will get an alert. Okay, so these were the different types of events of Salesforce Lightning components. The next question over here is, explain the Aura application bundle. So a bundle includes Aura definitions and their associated resources. The Aura definition can be an application, an interface, a component, or an event. Aura definition bundle element is a folder that includes definition files. Contrary to the metadata components, the Aura definition bundle component is not a single file. Rather, it is a group of files. The next question is, explain the Lightning design system. The Lightning design system provides style guides and advanced UX practices for the building pixel perfect applications that match the feel and the look of the Salesforce One mobile app and the Lightning experience. The next question is, what is Lightning Data Service? So we use Lightning Data Service for creating, deleting, editing, or loading a record into our component without the Apex code. It handles field level security and sharing rules. So Lightning Data Service enhances the user interface and performance consistency. The Lightning Data Service's main advantage is that we can carry out basic tasks without the use of Apex code. The next question is, what are the component bundles of the Lightning components? So as you can see on the screen, these are the component bundles of the Lightning components, such as controller, style, documentation, renderer, and helper. So controller is something that tackles the client-side events, and style includes mostly the component style. And if you talk about the documentation, so we use this component bundle for recording the components used. The next component bundle is renderer. So the renderer component bundle contains a component default rendering a behavior. And the last component bundle is helper. So we can write the general logic in the helper that is used by various controller methods to avoid the repetition. The next question over here is, how can we use Lightning components with Salesforce One mobile app? So we can use Lightning components with Salesforce One mobile app by creating traditional Lightning tab that refers to the component, and we can add that tab to the Salesforce One mobile navigation. The next question is, explain Lightning out. So if we want to use our component on the external side, then we have to use the Lightning out. The advantage of Lightning out is that we can utilize Lightning components in a Visualforce page. The next question over here is, and this is a very important question as far as Salesforce Lightning interview is concerned. So it says, explain attributes and what are the required parameters in the attribute definition. So attributes are variables that we use for storing the values. So we must define the default, type, name, access, and description in the attribute definition. So in the attribute definition, only name and type are the required parameters. The next question is, how can we utilize a Lightning component in the Visualforce page? So by using Lightning out, we can embed the Lightning component on the Visualforce page. So we can add the Lightning component to the Visualforce page in 3 steps. So as you can see on the screen, these are the 3 steps that we must follow. So in the first step, we must insert the Lightning components for the JavaScript library of Visualforce to our intent Visualforce page through the tag. After that, we can generate and point a Lightning application that we use for the component dependencies. And in the third and final step, we have to write a JavaScript function that creates the component over the page through the lightning.createComponent function. The next question is, what are the different types of Lightning record pages and how can we build them? So by using Lightning App Builder, we can create Lightning record pages. And if you talk about different types of Lightning record pages, so as you can see on the screen, these are the 3 types. The first one is the record page. The second one is the app page or the application page. And the third one is the home page. The next question is, differentiate component event and application event. So we use the component event for the interaction between the parent and the child. We can communicate the change in the child component to the parent component through the component event. We use application events to send any modification in the component to a wide variety of audience. So the components registered for this event will get an appropriate alert. The next question over here is, explain Aura enabled annotation. The Aura enabled annotation allows the Lightning components for accessing the Apex properties and methods. So Aura enabled annotation is overloaded and we can use it for distinct purposes. So just to give you an example, so we can use Aura enabled on the Apex class static methods for making them accessible like remote controller actions in our Lightning components. And the second purpose is we can use it on the Apex instance methods and properties for making them serializable when we return the class instance like the data from the server side action. The next question is, what is the importance of aura : method in the Salesforce Lightning? So we use the aura : method for defining the method within the API of the component. So this allows us to call a method directly in the client-side controller of a component rather than handling or dismissing an event. So through aura : method, we can simplify the code which the parent component requires for calling a method on the child component. The next question says, explain force : record data. So the force : record data is a conventional controller of the Lightning component. So we can accomplish the operations like delete, create, and edit a record through force : record data. So if you want to use force : record data, it removes and recognizes the replicate request passing to the server if we request for the same record data. The next question is, explain unbound and bound expressions. So we use unbound and bound expressions for performing the data binding operation. So when we call a child component from the parent component, we can send the value to a child component attribute from the attribute of a parent component. The next question is, explain Lightning : navigation. So we use Lightning : navigation for navigating to a page reference or creating a URL from the given page reference. So for the purpose of navigating, we have to define the page reference object. So page reference is the JavaScript object which references a page offering a defined structure that explains the type of page and its respective values. So we can navigate to the following supported features such as Lightning component, named page, knowledge article, record page, object page, navigation item page, web page, and record relationship page. The next question is, explain FlexiPage. So FlexiPage portrays the metadata related to a Lightning page. The Lightning page portrays an adaptive screen composed of the regions comprising of the Lightning components. The Lightning page contains 25 components. So here we store the FlexiPage as an XML file and we deploy it through a deployment tool or the metadata API. We can refer to the Lightning pages as FlexiPages in the API. The next question is, explain locker service in Salesforce Lightning. So locker service is a robust security architecture for the Lightning components. The locker service improves the security by isolating the Lightning components which belong to the namespace from the components in the distinct namespace. So locker service supports the practices which enhance the maintainability of our code by enabling access to the supported APIs. The next question is, what is the importance of the implements in the Lightning component? We use implements for referring to the platform interfaces that allows us to use the components in various contexts or grant access to the additional context data. And by using implements, a component can implement multiple interfaces. The next question is, what are the different types of attributes which we can use for storing the values? So as you can see on the screen, these are the different types of attributes which we can use for storing values, such as Boolean, integer, string, date time, date, decimal, map, and set. The next question is, what are the component events? So component events are the events that child components dismiss and parent components handle. So we use component events when we want to send a value from the child component to the parent component. The next question is, where can we use the Lightning components? Okay, so basically you can call this question as a scenario-based question. And through this question, the interviewer wants to know, even as a fresher, do you have some hands-on experience with Salesforce Lightning? Okay, so if you come back to this question, so coming back to the question, it says, where can we use the Lightning components? Okay, so as you can see on the screen, these are the 4 places where you can use the Lightning components. The first one is the drag and drop components in the community builder and the Lightning app builder. The second place is add Lightning components to the Lightning pages. Okay, in the third place, you can start the Lightning component like a quick action. And in the fourth point, you can create standalone applications using the Lightning components. The next question is, what are the application events? So any component can dismiss and handle the application events. So application events do not need any type of relationship among the components, and these components should be a part of one application. The next question says, what are the different phases in the application events propagation? So guys, this is a very simple question, and the answer to this question is also very simple. So as you can see on the screen, these are the different phases. So the first phase is the capture phase. The second phase is the default phase. And the third phase is the bubble phase. The next question is, explain Lightning App Builder. So we use Lightning App Builder for creating the Lightning pages for the mobile applications and Salesforce Lightning experience. So a Lightning App Builder is a click and point tool, and we build the Lightning pages to the Lightning components, which are configurable, reusable, and compact. So through the Lightning App Builder, we can build different types of pages such as home page, application page or the app page, and the record page. The next question is, explain namespace in Salesforce Lightning components. So we use namespace for grouping the components together. The Lightning components that we use are a part of the namespace. So C is the default namespace, and we can create our namespace through our organization. So if we create the namespace for our organization, then we can use that namespace for our Lightning components. The next question is a very important question, and it says, what is the difference between UI:input and Lightning:input? So UI:input does not contain Lightning design system styling, while Lightning:input contains Lightning design system styling. Okay, so this is a very critical difference between UI:input and Lightning:input. The next question is, what is the use of Lightning:recordEditForm? So in Lightning:recordEditForm, we use the Lightning:input field for creating the editable fields. So by using the Lightning:output field, we can display the read-only information. Lightning:recordEditForm contains features, as you can see on the screen. It displays the record edit layout to edit a particular record, and it displays the record to create the layout to create a particular record. So let's move ahead. And guys, before moving ahead, I want you to know that the first 32 questions that we just discussed, those were meant for the freshers. Okay, and now from 33 onwards, these are the questions which are meant for the experienced people. Okay, so let's start with the experience level of questions. And the first question over here is, what is an action provider and value provider? So action provider allows us to manage the events, actions, and handlers for the component. The value provider allows us to use the component attribute values in the component JavaScript and markup controller. The next question is, explain Lightning Web Component or the LWC. So by using Lightning Web Components, we can build the Lightning components. So Lightning Web Components are the traditional HTML elements built through the advanced JavaScript and HTML elements. We can build the components by using any model and locating the components on the Lightning page. To develop the Lightning Web Components, we need the Salesforce extension for the Visual Studio Code, and to deploy the LWC from the organization, we need the Salesforce CLI or the command line interface. The next question is, explain Scartch.org. So Scartch.org is an expandable Salesforce org that we use for testing and development. We can create the Scartch.org for 30 days, after which we deactivate the Scartch.org. So Scartch.org default duration is basically 7 days. The next question is, what is the use of meta configuration file in the Lightning Web Components? So the meta configuration file specifies the metadata values to the components. If we do not have a configuration file for our component, we will get an error when we push our changes. The next question is, what is the use of JavaScript in the Lightning Web Components? So as you can see on the screen, these are the uses of JavaScript in the LWC. So the first use is JavaScript establishes the HTML properties behavior. The second point is if we have to import a function or a class or a variable defined in the module, then we have to use the import statement. The next point is JavaScript files in the LWCs are the ES6 modules. So everything we declare in the module is local. And the next point over here is LWC is the core module of the Lightning Web Components. So import statement imports the Lightning element from the LWC module. The next question is, what is the purpose of /app hostable interface in the Salesforce Lightning component? So in the Salesforce mobile app or the Lightning component, we can use /app hostable interface as a custom tag. The next question is, what is the purpose of the Lightning action override in the Salesforce Lightning component? So the Lightning action override allows us to use the component like an override for the standard action. So we can override the new, edit, tab, and view the standards actions over the traditional and standard components. So components must implement the Lightning action override interface that the component emerges in the Lightning component bundle menu. The next question is a very important question. So this question says, what are the tools present in Lightning? So as you can see on the screen, these are the tools that are present in Lightning. The first tool is the Lightning Schema Builder. So Schema Builder is a user interface tool to create and view the fields, objects, and the relationships. The second tool is the Lightning Connect tool. So this is the integration tool that makes it easier for our force.com application for consuming the data from the external source, which compiles to the OData specification. The third tool is the Lightning Process Builder. So it is a user interface tool to visualize and create automated business processes. Apart from this, there's also a tool called Lightning Component Framework. So here extensions and components are present which enable you to build the recyclable components, personalize the Salesforce One mobile app, and develop independent applications. Apart from this, you also have Lightning App Builder. So this is the latest user interface tool that allows us to build Lightning apps quickly through the components given by the Salesforce platform developers. The next question is, how do the capture phase and the bubble phase propagate? So the capture phase propagates from top to bottom, whereas the bubble phase propagates from bottom to top. So this is a critical difference between capture phase and the bubble phase. The next question is, how can we define the field level security in the Salesforce Lightning components? So to define the field level security, you should use Lightning recordEditForm and force recordEditData and Lightning recordForm. The next question is, what are the options for the Lightning record page assignment? So as you can see on the screen, these are the options for Lightning record page assignment. The first one is the org default. The second one is the app default. So this assignment revokes the assignment done at the org level. And the third one is the app profile and record type. So this assignment revokes the assignment done at the app and the org level. The next question is, how can we access the value from the attribute? So by using the value provide, we can access the value from the attribute. The next question is, what are the various global value providers in Lightning? So as you can see on the screen, these are the various global value providers in Lightning, such as global ID, label, resource, locale, and browser. The next question is, can we integrate the Lightning components with other frameworks like Angular? Okay, so guys, this is another scenario-based question wherein the interviewer wants to know whether you have good amount of hands-on experience with Salesforce Lightning. Okay, so as I've already told you earlier, so this category of questions is meant for the experienced candidates. So coming back to the question, so can we integrate the Lightning components with the other frameworks such as Angular? So the answer to this question is yes, we can integrate the Lightning components with other frameworks. And if the interviewer asks you to elaborate this question or to elaborate this answer, then you can elaborate it. Else, you can simply state yes or no. Okay. The next question is, can we add the external CSS or JavaScript libraries like Bootstrap, jQuery to the components? So the answer to this question is yes, we can add the JavaScript and CSS libraries to the Lightning components. The next question is, how do we assure FLS when working with Lightning components? So in the Apex controller, we must enforce the CRUD and the FLS manually. Also, while using the Lightning data service, it takes care of the CRUD and the FLS. The next question is, how can we display the loading spinner in the Lightning component? So spinners are the CSS indicators that we should display while retrieving the data or performing slow calculations. So Lightning colon spinner shows the animated spinner image for indicating that the request is loading. So we can use aura colon done waiting and aura colon waiting to control the loading spinner. Okay, so guys, with this, we have come to the end of this session on Salesforce Lightning interview questions. Okay, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this session and you have understood whatever questions we have discussed here. Okay, so just to get the most out of this video, so what you can do is, so let's say you have an interview lined up in a few days. So once you revise all the concepts that you know about Salesforce Lightning, so after that, you can watch this video. So once you watch this video from the beginning till the end, so it automatically revises the concepts that you already know. So just in case if you have missed any concept or you have skipped any particular topic in Salesforce Lightning, so through this video, you will also cover that topic. Okay, so thank you so much for being with us. And if you have any queries related to this session, then you can write your queries in the comments box and my team is here to help you with all your doubts and queries. So thank you so much for being with us and have a good day.